Your heart is more valuable than luxury. Written by Poyowl. Read by Arashi. Both Ratio and Aventurine aren't that good with emotions. At least, when they were just starting out with their collaborations. The way they express themselves are quite different, which leads other people to misread what they had actually meant to say. It's not uncommon for them to be misunderstood like this, but they sort of got used to it. In some instances, though not all the times, there were a few moments where they might have gotten the wrong meaning when the other was expressing themselves. Maybe it was the tone, the gesture, or how one just turned their back from them because of annoyance? Honestly, they don't know which it was exactly, but it could be any of those reasons. So, when Aventurine had seen Ratio rather annoyed one day when he had placed his so-called gifts, he had initially thought that the doctor didn't like his gifts that he often brought with him upon their meetings. Expensive tea sets, jewelry, and maybe some cash. They were all frowned upon by the doctor. Ratio wasn't a materialistic person anyways. Any gift he had once thought of giving was immediately discarded after that. So now, he holds the small box tightly in his palm, an attempt to try and give this to his beloved doctor. But sensing how Ratio might also dislike this gift that he had brought, he decides to go against it. The gift wasn't anything grand compared to his previous offerings. No, this was nothing but a trinket. Thin red rope that matched Ratio's eyeliner, and a golden duck at one end. Due to the rope being longer than expected, it looked more like a tie of sorts. But it's not like Ratio would ever see it. Aventurine sighs sadly before dumping the box into the trash can. It's now placed above a bed of random papers and a bunch of other scraps that deserve to be there. Aventurine thinks his gift deserved to be there as well. He looks at the box one last time before stepping away from the trash can. Then he turns away, leaving and trying to forget that he even bought the thing for the doctor. Soon, his footsteps were a lot softer, and he was far enough away to not notice a certain man taking the same gift box from its rather disgusting place. Of course, Ratio wouldn't have overlooked such an important detail. He had noticed how empty-handed the gambler was recently during their meetings. It wasn't because he was requiring Aventurine to have something on him or anything, but it was indeed odd to find him with nothing to offer. Ratio isn't materialistic. He will not require people to give him something in exchange for his time or assistance. Everyone is free to ask for his advice on certain matters that he knows he is able to assist with. For the gambler's case, he usually finds himself giving the doctor something, even before their meeting starts. He had expressed how unnecessary it is to provide him with such luxurious items in order to pay for the time he will spend with the gambler. He believes Aventurine had understood it differently. So, when Aventurine arrived yet again without his usual offerings and an unexpectedly uncomfortable expression, Ratio had to speak. How odd to see you here without your usual luxurious offerings." He sees Aventurine shift as he sits down on the couch. He's even sitting down on the far end of the seat, as if he's intruding. He'll need to talk about that next time. "Oh, well, it seemed the store I was purchasing from ran out of the specific item I was looking for." Aventurine excuses, his eyes not meeting the doctor's. "Really? I find that hard to believe, dear gambler. You often have something with you whenever we meet." Ratio mentions, "I told you, doctor, they don't have what I need, and I doubt that it would be liked." "How are you so sure?" "Putting some thought into what to give is a lot, so I'd rather not waste my time too much." Aventurine says it as if he didn't care about the receiver. If only he was able to hide how much his fingers are fidgeting with each other. No matter, Ratio will always see right through him. "Is that right?" Ratio places the ducky trinket on his desk for Aventurine to see. He sees the blonde startle for a split second before he regains his composure. I don't think such items would run out so quickly. Ratio stands, taking the trinket and placing the rope in between the pages of a book he was previously reading before Aventurine came in. But I also think that such nice items that are carefully thought out and are wrapped in a neat manner shouldn't have been found in the trash either. Aventurine looks away with a huff, but then he feels the couch dip, and Aventurine looks back to see Ratio beside him. If you still do not understand what I mean, dear gambler, the doctor continued on, I do not care how luxurious your offerings are, but I do care when you put a lot of thought into what you want to give, because it is a lot more meaningful. Ratio puts the book with the ducky trinket in between them. It apparently became a bookmark, which is something Aventurine didn't exactly expect, but it was appreciated. Aventurine had initially thought that the doctor could have used it as a hair tie, or maybe an accessory for his phone, but remembering the length of that rope, he thinks Ratio did a good job in finding a use for it. I had thought that you hated my gifts, the blonde admits, leaning back on the couch and placing his palm against the book. I disliked how you just carelessly spent your money on things that even you don't care about, Ratio tells him, which is why I appreciated the trinket a lot more, because you had to put effort into choosing it. Aventurine nods, a bit shy. His smile is hidden. He should have known better, that his good friend wouldn't just disregard gifts. Of course he wouldn't. Even the gifts that Aventurine had given before were kept, even if Ratio thought it was unnecessary. But now, Aventurine truly understands what the doctor meant when he expressed that he didn't need such things. He'll make sure to give his next gift a lot more thought. Would Ratio like a new bookshelf weeks from now, he wonders? Or maybe that would be too much. Aventurine will think of something later. All right. I understand you a lot better now, Doctor. Good, Ratio says, as he places his hand on top of Aventurine's. And thank you for the trinket. I truly like it. Aventurine lights up instantly at this, and chuckles. Don't mention it, Doctor. Shall we start the meeting? Of course. Aventurine thinks he'll give the doctor some macarons for next week's meeting.